In a repeat of a quarter-final last year, Ferns St Aidan's take on Oylegate-Glenbrien at 6:30 on Saturday in Chadwick's Wexford Park. Ed, it was, I suppose, considered a surprise when Oylegate-Glenbrien dethroned the county champions Ferns last year. Can they do the same this year?
Yeah, look, I watched it the other night, would you believe, Peter? It was a very, very good game. And I think what separated the two teams, I think Oylegate were very, very hungry on the night. Diarmaid Doyle had a chance. It was a great save by Aaron Duggan. But you know, Casey went down the field and got a great goal for Oylegate. And Oylegate won that game by 3 points. But you know, Oylegate haven't hit those heights this year yet. And I think they're going to have to hit him to beat Ferns, because Ferns have actually impressed me this year in the championship.
Now, before we discuss the Ferns challenge, I suppose Oylegate wouldn't have exactly hit the heights last year at the end of the group stage either. They were beaten fairly comfortably by St Martin's, and they kind of had to get the win against Lynn in the last round to even qualify. So this year's could be taken on a similar kind of pattern.
Yeah, that's very, very, very true, Peter. But you know, the last 2 games, Oylegate can't be happy with the way they finished. You know, and the match against Shelmaliers, they were only 1 point down with 15 minutes to go. Now I know Damien Reck went off, and he's going to be a huge loss. But you know, 15 points was a big margin at the end, and I know for a fact that Days and the lads over the team surely won't be happy with that, you know. But they're back in the mix now, and anything can happen, as we well know.
Ferns St Aidan's, they finished third in what we might consider to be a strong group. They were beaten at the quarter-final stage last year, county champions the year before. What have you made of them so far this year?
Yeah, they've been very consistent, in fairness to them. You know, they beat Ballymurn very handily, and they got a good test from Owler the last day as well. But they played very well again, the Ans, in the first half against the wind, and for whatever reason the Ans came out and produced probably their finest display of the year in the second half in that match. So they're there or thereabouts, and they're there on merit, and they've very good players like Paul Morris, Corey Byrne, Dunbar, and it's great to see Gavin Bailey getting a good run at it this year as well, you know.
That's one feature you mentioned about the wind, Ed. One feature of games that I've been at this year in both hurling and football is teams seem to be performing better against the wind nearly now at the moment.
Yeah, most teams are using the short game now, and the only time wind comes into it now is free take, and I think it's easier to take frees with the wind, obviously. But you're right, teams are definitely performing better against the wind, which is unheard of. In years have gone by, it would have been unheard of.
Yeah. So who are you going to give the tip to between Ferns and Oylegate-Glenbrien?
Yeah, well, on current form, I think Ferns are in a better place than Oylegate, so I'll give them the nod. But you know, last year's game was a thriller, and I'd love to see the same type of game again, and the two teams going at it and a score in it at the end. But I think Ferns will be favourites for this one.
Yeah, I think Ferns mightn't let the same thing happen 2 years in a row, and I think they might get over the line on Saturday evening.